What is happening, guys? Welcome back. So, Fiesta seems to have gone down pretty well in the first episode. Everyone seems to like the idea of what we're going to do and go and have a little bit of fun of it. And I've had quite a few messages and comments saying that they can't believe it was written off for just that damage on the rear quarter. Well, today is the day that we're going to find out if there's anything else wrong with this car. So, the whole idea of this car is going to be we're going to go and have some fun on track with it. Now, I've never driven a car on track before. I've done a few track days on motorbikes, but I've never done one in a car before. So, I've booked my first track day for this Friday at Mallory Park in Leicestershire because it's like 20 minutes from home. So today is going to be going through the car, making sure the car is okay and I'm not going to die as soon as I go out on tracking it. We're going to do a few little bits to it. The pipe on top of the engine that is weeping, we're going to change that out. I've got a new one of them. We're going to do an oil and filter change as well. I'm also going to change the brake pads out and we're going to change the brake fluid for a higher temp brake fluid because I don't want to go on to my first track day, do a few laps, boil the brakes and then have to sit there and waste time. So we figured we'd change the pads for some EBC yellow stuff to hopefully help control temperatures a little bit, and then the brake fluid as well, we'll change that out for some higher temp race stuff so we don't boil the brakes, we can actually have some fun on track. So, first thing we need to do is get the car up in the air on some axle stands and we'll start having a look around it, seeing if anything else is broken and if we need to nip out and get anything else. Oh yeah, I'm not doing it on my own either. I've got a Richard sat up there who's going to give me a hand. Yo. So let's get on with it. So just doing a bit of an inspection on parts, bit of rust in the turrets. Shocks and springs look okay. There is a slight knock when you pull in and out the workshop on the rear. I don't know whether the rear top mounts might have gone or something. There's a slight bit of play in the back, the wishbone on the side, the back rubber, but it'll do for now. We'll probably be changing them out anyway. Front one. Yeah, seems alright.
That one's alright, the inside's got a little bit.
And then the rear one on this one. Not too bad. All joints look okay, we'll test them in a minute. Discs and look alright. Drive shafts seem okay. It's just been caked in underseal under here, on top of what was already rusty, I think. So it doesn't look the nicest, but hopefully it will be okay. Something that is on the list to change as well is this gearbox mount here, because apparently changing that absolutely transforms how the car drives. So we've got one of them to go on in a future video. Right, we should carry on checking around. I'll check back in a minute. The initial inspections under the car are not too bad. It's a little crusty. You can see these fuel lines and everything, brake lines, whatever, have all got paint on. So it's had paint on, I'm going to say, this passenger side at some point. But under here is not too bad. It's been caked in underseal. The rear beam, there's areas that are starting to get a bit crusty, but hopefully we'll be able to stop it and, yeah, save it if you like. Both sides, the top rubber for the rear spring, both of them have completely disintegrated, so we've got to get rid of them. And if you can see these front bushes here, they should not look like that. There's a lot of side-to-side movement, a lot of up and down movement, and all sorts. So yeah, those bushes are absolutely shot, which will be the knocking that I'm getting when I'm pulling it in and out of the workshop over the step that is there. So it isn't the end of the world. The exhaust, there's a lot of movement on the exhaust as well, which looking at it looks like the exhaust rubbers are they're not perished, they're just a bit soft. So I'm going to get some new ones and replace those. I'm probably not going to be able to sort all the rear end out before we do the track day on Friday, but I'm going to get it all sorted in place. And the whole point of doing this first track day was to just sort of see how bad the car was, see what it drove like, which I imagine with that rear beam isn't going to be best. And then we'll start doing some improvements and we'll do some more track days and see how much it improves the car. But all in all, it isn't too bad. I mean, the car, I think, has had a little bit of a history with the overspray and things that are underneath, but I think the nature of the car that it was inevitable that it was going to have had a bit of history coming through Copart. So, that's our little investigation's done and we're pretty happy with it. So what I'm going to do now is jump on with swapping these front brake pads out, and then we'll get on with changing the brake fluid. Right, so as we're going on a track day, I wanted to change the brake pads out for something that isn't going to overheat the first time I touch the pedal. So what I've gone for are EBC yellow stuff pads. Now, I wanted blue stuff, but we're probably going to be driving it on the road as well. So yellow stuff is the best compromise between road and track. Pretty easy job, to be fair. 2 13mm bolts there, undo them, caliper comes out, push the piston back, clean everything up, pads out, new pads in with a bit of copper slip, put the caliper back on, job done. Now then, brakes are done, let's get this breather pipe changed. So this is the pipe that was on top of the engine that has been put back together with masking tape, which obviously did absolutely nothing. I ordered this pipe from the internet and tried fitting it, and it didn't fit if you fit it in the same orientation as the pipe that came off of it. So I then ordered another one from a local garage, well, from Grand Good Racing, to get the right one. That still didn't fit. Turns out it's the exact same pipe as the one that I bought, but if you turn it around the opposite way to the way that it actually wants to fit in the car, it clips on. Which is weird. But it's on now, it's done, so hopefully we've not got all oil coming out of this. That can go in the bin. This is now spare, because if that's gone, you never know, that one might go eventually because of the tension that it's under. But that's that done. Now, time for a brake fluid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
One eternity later.
Brake fluid change done. So we've put AP Racing brake fluid in. And what has come out, look at the state of that. Now, if you can see the colour of that fluid in there, maybe, it's absolutely filthy. Now there was also air in that back corner and air in the passenger corner as well. So yeah, we've got a nice pedal, new brake fluid, nice new brake pads on the front. So now, let's drop the oil out of it, or let's run it up, get it warm, drop the oil out of it, change the oil and filter. So the oil's drained out, new sump bolt with seal on it, so I'll bang that in, clean that area, make sure there's no oil on it, and we'll come forward, and the oil filter's up here, so we'll change the oil filter out as well, clean all that area up, get the new filter on, and then we'll be able to put some oil in the top of it. Now them bits are done, before we go putting oil in it, I want to get it back on its wheels, because at the minute it's sitting nose down on the axle stands, and after looking at them, these original wheels have got a different brand of tyre on each wheel. Passenger rear, we've got a Delente. Passenger front, we've got a Landsail. Driver's front, we've got a Aptene, if anyone's ever heard of them. And then driver's rear, we've got a Pirelli. That's going to handle nicely on those tyres. So, choice conversation with Rich from next door, and I mentioned that I'd seen that people were using ST180 alloy wheels on these, and I thought, for a budget wheel, for a track day, they're not that too bad. And he went, actually, I've got a set of them. So yeah, they're what we're going to be putting on the car. Now, these came off of a vehicle that he bought quite a long time ago, and they've been sat in his garage for a while, I think. Tyres are okay, we've had a look, they're okay, and they've done me for at least one track day. But unfortunately, looking at them, they've not been balanced, so I'm going to chuck them in the car now, take them over and get them balanced, and we'll come back, throw them on the car, and we'll be able to get some oil in it, and hopefully I'll have done everything right and it won't go wrong. Right, I just nipped up the local tyre place. Wheels are now balanced, actually not that bad. One of the wheels I think had got 60 on it, the rest of them were sort of 15. Not really a lot, which I'm pretty happy with. He's raring to get them on, so let's get them on the car. Well, there was no grinding, so I think we take the oil change as a success. We'll leave that layout settle for a bit and check it again. So we've got a list of things that we're going to be doing to this, and some of them have already been sourced. I wanted to try and make them all in separate videos, but I foolishly didn't order an air filter for this because we're going to be changing it. And the air filter in it is absolutely filthy, so I can't leave anything alone, so I think we're going to have to probably chuck this induction kit on that I've been given. To get this engine sounding a little bit nicer, I've been given a Ground Good Racing induction kit. Thank you very much, Ground Good Racing. I'll put a link in the description to this induction kit. So we're going to get this slung on and get that factory airbox out of the way. And hopefully we're going to hear many noises and it's going to sound many cool. There is Ground Good Racing induction kit fitted. So we've got hose here that goes over to the crossover pipe, this new trumpet, K&M filter, the old MAF sensor's obviously gone back in, this clips in and you get this nice little air duct here that replaces the original part here. So, Rich is in it, start it up, see if she sounds any better. Sick! That sounds much better, don't it? And there she is then, track day ready. Considering these wheels are cheap, old if you like, wheels from an ST170 Ford Focus, I think they actually suit the car quite well and do look quite nice. Obviously, we need to sort this arch gap out because it's many highs. But it looks pretty cool. Had to change the number plates out, so I've chucked the show plates on. Wheels are looking cool, chuck the centre caps in just to finish them off a little bit. Also, we had to chuck a little bit of branding on. I did want to put some big ones on the doors, but I've only got one left, so we couldn't do that. Other number plate round the back. And then round here, we've had a bit of a sort out of this. I've tried pushing a few bits of the dent out. Obviously, we're not going to get it all out. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have polished it a bit and got a few of the scuffs and the marks out of it. I've also just chucked a screw, I'm going to replace the bumper anyway, so I've just chucked a screw through there to bolt this rear bumper onto this rear quarter so it's not flapping and I don't get black flagged. I've also put 2 new fixings underneath the bumper to stop the bottom of it flapping. And then under the bonnet, we've obviously changed the brake fluid out. That's all nice and new race stuff. This pipe here that was throwing oil everywhere has been changed, and we've got this lovely looking Grey and Good Racing induction kit. And considering all we've done to this car, performance wise if you like so far, is bang an air filter on it, it sounds amazing. I cannot wait to get the full exhaust system on this and really help it breathe. We've also got a few other bits I've ordered. I've got a full height front mount intercooler to go in, because the intercooler on this, if you can see in there, half of the fins, the cooling fins, are closed up, not there, damaged, dented. So I'm going to change that out for a full height one. Grey and Good Racing have also kindly donated a quick shifter for the gearbox and the rear mount for the gearbox, as I think I might have mentioned earlier in the video as well. So we'll be getting them fitted in the next couple of weeks. So a massive thank you to Grey and Good Racing for supplying me with those parts. I really do appreciate it, and that's pretty much where I get all of my parts of the cars from. I put a link in the description to their website. Go and check them out if you're after anything for your ST180 or other Ford performance cars. But that's about it for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you on Friday at the track day. Enjoy.